Hello and welcome to the second part of my talk on acid-alkaline balance and how that supports anti-inflammatory nutrition. There'll be two themes: how to test your acid-alkaline balance in your daily life and examples of acid-forming foods and alkaline-forming foods, with the supplement of some fatty fish that support anti-inflammatory nutrition. So I'll begin with how to test your acid-alkaline balance in your daily life. Here's the process using again Christopher Vasey's book, and it's not because I recommend any diet as such, it's simply that I like the process and tools that he provides. In fact, I never even use the word diet. And you can follow this process over one day if you're satisfied with that, or if you want a more complete overview, you can do the same process over 4 to 5 days. And you'll keep a record. We'll start with the one day, keeping the record of 3 pH readings over the course of the day and using these pH litmus strips, which are available at low cost at your local pharmacy or online. Starting with the use of one test strip, and that's for the second urine sample of the day, allowing the strip to touch the flow for just a few seconds. Then you wait 15 seconds for the resultant reading. The colour's going to change. Allowing then to match these colours with the colours on the back of the box. And these colours are in increments of 0.25, so the colour match is perfect. You'll make a note of that reading and then take a further 2 samples over the course of the day and write these down, also with comments of what was happening at the time. For example, were you eating out? Did you have work stress, or were you feeling fine? We need to know that pH balance fluctuates over the course of the day, depending on your activities and how you're feeling on that day. And of course, to get a better overview of the consistency of pH readings, you can then repeat this process over 4 to 5 days to check that the results are going in the alkaline direction or remaining in the acidic range. If pH readings remain consistently well below the neutral 7 number, this indicates an acidic internal environment requiring your attention. And that means concentrating on only alkaline foods and drinks, and perhaps even adding green powders to see if this changes to more alkaline. As performance coach, I'd like to add it's vitally important at any time in your life when you're noticing inflammation to examine what's happening in your life, particularly your environments at home or work or in your relationships, and also look at your lifestyle. And you may decide that something needs to change. Why do I say this? Any type of stress, whether it be mental, physical, or emotional, is actually acid forming. And it creates acidity in the mind-body. And this is what we want to prevent, it becoming too inflammatory. So if you'd like guidance for a faster recovery, don't hesitate to ask for a personalised session with me, because I've been involved with stress, health, performance, relationships for over 20 years. And that's with my current research and also watching the successful recovery outcomes of my clients, and also recovering myself from most of these situations 20 years ago, using my own natural mind-body health strategies that were put together for my academic thesis on developing performance confidence, which was most successful. So now to some examples of acid-forming and alkaline-forming foods, which are seen on page 115 of my book called Performance Confidence. And this is in the appendix called Vital Connections, Stress, Health and Performance. First to the acid-forming foods. Remember the ratio, 20% acid-forming to 80% alkaline-forming foods. But some of these you'll find in the acid-forming foods are not suitable for performance or presentation. And you'll either find this out or you may get my advice in the book. So acid-forming foods are, in general, cheese and dairy, eggs, although part of the egg, the yolk, is alkaline-forming. Any sugary foods and sweetened fruit juices, the tea, coffee and alcohol, and of course we talked about soft drinks earlier as being very unhealthy. Tin beans and chickpeas, which normally are fine, but I'd say just before practice or performance and presentation aren't so good because they cause digestive problems, sometimes in some people. Then all meats and fish are considered acid forming. And there's the exception though of the fatty fish samples that I would like to describe, and that is some types of fish are both not only a good source of protein but an important source for anti-inflammatory nutrition, and that's for the brain, cognitive ability, the eyes, the heart, arthritis and joint pain. The fatty fish of salmon, mackerel, tuna and sardines, being high in omega-3s with their essential fatty acids, actually prevent the increase of inflammation. One just needs to be aware of the source of tinned tuna for mercury levels, and wild-caught fatty fish are considered the best options, not farmed fish. So, now to alkaline-forming foods. Just think green. All greens, and that can be for salad greens as well, and most vegetables. In fact, you can have colours in vegetables very effectively, and they're alkaline forming. Most fruits, the only one, not cranberries. Fresh fruit and vegetable juices, but as I've said, mixed so that the emphasis is more with the vegetables to make it more alkaline forming. Garlic and herbs, especially parsley, herbal teas, as we've stated before. Another tea that could be useful for you, and you'd perhaps like it, is green tea, alkaline forming. Although with some caffeine, not a lot of caffeine, it's full of antioxidants and alkaline forming. Seeds and nuts, but not pecans or walnuts, surprisingly. The best nuts would be almonds and Brazil nuts. And you know, buckwheat and millet. Spices, probiotics, sea vegetables, including kelp and seaweed, oriental vegetables, that includes shiitake mushrooms, and last but not least, baking soda or bicarb of soda, which I have here, readily available at the supermarket and handy for cleaning because there's no chemicals in it. And for us, if we want a quick fix for gaining alkalinity and feeling better, you can normally tell when you're feeling a little bit lethargic that you feel a bit acidic. So the secret, which I have in this book, and I normally don't give out because I like people to find it in the book, but I'll say it today. 1/4 teaspoon of this in a glass of water. It may not taste wonderful, but you'll notice the difference in about 15 minutes or within that time. It's similar to a flower needing to be watered. I have peace lilies around and they can look very droopy, and soon after my watering them you just see them open up, and that's how you'll feel. So that concludes my talk for today. In summary though, I'd like to say our mind bodies deserve the best combination of foods and drinks most suited to us for our best performance outcomes. A PowerPoint presentation will bring these topics together with an anti-inflammatory lifestyle to conclude my series on self-empowerment with an anti-inflammatory nutrition and lifestyle. So thank you for watching, commenting and sharing my talks. And please don't hesitate to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Performance Confidence and Self-Care.